All right. Ooh, good box. Kenman here. And today we have a fun unboxing. What is it? What company? Is it another small knife? Maybe a big knife? A new brand? Well, this box right here contains all of our answers. Let's cut it free. Before we start, I'm not sponsored by anyone, and I purchase everything at retail price. I do these videos because I love discussing knives and sharing info and ideas with others. If you have any questions or thoughts, please feel free to comment below. KDK in 4K, KDKI in 4K. If you go over on Instagram and you want to see some high definition photos of some of my knives and some other stuff, this is me, KDK, Kenman, Dan Kenman, in 4K. If you are on Instagram and want to check it out, join me. All right. The old pirate. Let's set this thing free. Any guesses? Thoughts? Huh? Hints? It's kind of interesting and different packaging than normal, right? Oh boy, what is going on down there? Let's see if I can do this without getting peanuts all over the place. There it is. That is all. And box. And some peanuts on the floor. Anybody recognize? Notice? It's a Kansept. Mini bag on the floor. Isn't this a great box? It's got this nice smooth texture, the slide out, and popped. What do we have in the card? You've got your cloth and your info sheets. We've all been there, seen that. And we've got our little sleeve. And let's go. Kansept. Or is it Kansept? Here we are. What do we think it is? It's been a little while. I have several. I've enjoyed the company. They got some cool stuff. And what is this newest one going to be? Ooh, we have some yellow. These sleeves are nice. They're thick. It's interesting. I've got a few of them. I've already seen them. I'm just still making observations on it. All right. Here we are. No small knives today, kids. Mini bag on the floor. We have the Kansept or Kansept Main Street is what this is called. Still a little cold. Been outside. There it is. All right. We got a little old. Sorry. Bumping everything. Making a mess. Let's wipe this off. The standard new knife out of the pack. Sometimes we'll have a little extra oil on there. Okay. So here we are. The Kansept Main Street. This is a Dirk Pinkerton design. Cool looking design, I would say. 154 cm blade steel, pretty standard for some of the knives. I've been opening some Kaisers lately. They've been using that same steel. It's a good steel. Okay. G10 scale in this kind of yellow color. I could do a scale die on this. I kind of like the yellow as it is. I don't have too many yellow knives. A couple of Ultim knives, but actual yellow knives. I've tried the dye a few times. It's not the easiest color to get because it's a lighter color, and if you have jade, the jade's going to affect the color, so it's harder to get a lighter yellow than what the jade already is. blah blah de blah. I could dye this. Maybe I could do a fade dye. Leave it all yellow here and then fade it to another color. Comment below. Should I dye this thing? Should I leave it the same? What do we think? All right, can I flick it open? Yes, I can. I love the feel of this. The styling is pretty cool. Ooh, those are some internal kind of jimps on the side there. It's a little hard for me to, that angle you can kind of see it. They look like little teeth. They're on the inside. They're not on the edge, so you can't see it on the edge here, but when you're looking down inside there, you can see those cuts, those little bumps that kind of give it that little bit of extra texture when you're squeezing right there. Actually feels kind of aggressive, but not in a negative way, but it feels like you can really, it's got a little more grips, like slips, and then it really sticks right there. That is pretty cool. Yeah, so it's thumb studs only, or is that a front flipper right there? I don't think I can see how it sticks out just that little bit, but you can't get to that to front flip it. So it's basically thumb studs with the thumb or the flick out like that. Liner lock closes pretty easy. That liner's cut out a little deeper on this side, so you can see that access is huge for getting in there. It's a huge bar. It's kind of part of the design almost. You can really see that bar in there. Because there's no flipper tab or anything, there's nothing really to stop it as it's coming around. You'd have to put your thumb up there pretty high, so you got to be a little cautious bringing that around. But yeah, I like the action on this. Feels pretty good. Okay, cannot swap the clip to the other side, which is a bummer. But it is a milled clip. Is this titanium? Where's my magnet? That is a titanium. See how that sticks? But then here. So you got a titanium clip, which is cool. A nice little milled titanium clip is always a nice addition. Got that line right up the center of it. Doesn't really bother me too much. That looks cool. That flick out is a nice action on this knife. So there are some jimps. You can see they're basically side cuts. So they don't really stick out on the top, kind of like those jimps inside there, where if just across the ridge, it's smooth. But if you just push a little on either side, you can feel those jimps. They're large. That's kind of a good angle to kind of see them scoop down, but then the blade still goes straight across the middle of it. They're interesting. So they don't really wrap all the way or go all the way across. You can see that top little part of the spine is smooth. It's a little different than I've seen before, but that's kind of cool. Index finger gets way out there. Look at this blade shape, and that point is really up there. You can really look at how aggressive that tip is. Nice looking. I dig it. What's everyone think about this one from Kansept? I hate that. I just need to settle myself into one and just live with it for life. It'll be fine. Yeah, so centering. Oop, there we go. Get one of those in. Centering is nice. It looks like it's about right in the middle there, which is great. Blade is solid. Feels good. Excellent stuff. I dig this knife. I think it's cool. I think they make a smaller version. Anybody have the smaller version? I think like the mini Main Street or whatever, I guess. I've been getting a lot of minis lately. Maybe consider picking one up. I do dig this knife. It's got a cool design. It's got a good feel to it. I have a larger hand, and this is definitely kind of close. It's pretty much a full-size knife. I can spread out pretty good and comfortable on this handle, and you still got a butt on the end there that you can hit. Thumb sits on there nice for nice pushing here. It's a good blade. I am enjoying it so far. Let's zoom. Whoa, sorry. And I always compare everything with the Pyrite. It's a good mid to close to full-size knife that everyone's pretty familiar with. If you don't have a Pyrite, check it out. There's so many options. Excuse me. But A couple new ones coming out pretty soon I'm excited about. Hopefully it'll release and I'll get one ordered before they go out of stock, but I'm paying attention, waiting. Hopeful. Excited. Yeah, I didn't even measure it yet. All right. Head to toe, just under 8 inches. Wants to be 8. Kind of cut across that angle. It's almost at 8. Blade, you could pretty much go by this flat, straight edge. Almost 3.5. You could almost call that a 3.5 inch blade, but it's more of 3 3/8, especially the cutting surface. That pretty much straight cutting surface is about 3 3/8. And the handle is 4.5. A little under that 1/2 inch thickness, kind of 3/8 to, what would that be then? 16ths. 7/16, if you really want to get in there. Okay. Next up, give it some weight. Right there. I was pushing, trying to get a good reflection for you. 4.02. So it feels like it's got a little bit more mass. The pyrite is 367. So it's got a little bit more weight than the pyrite with that 4. Just barely over 4. What are those? Oh. Are you kidding me? You guys see that with my left thumb right there? You know what that is, right? So, no clip swap option. But if you want to do one tip down, tip up, tip down, same side. Ew. Well, okay. Okay. Comment below, what do you think about that? Who carries tip down? Generally a tip up is pretty much standard, but man, they put those 2 extra holes there. Why don't you put 2 over here? Well, everybody's got a different feel, a different taste. Getting it, I knew it didn't have the left side clip. I'm used to that. I carry knives on both sides. The pants I got now, the way the extra pockets are, I could really stick it. The front pockets are really they have a secondary pocket that's only like that wide. So you could stick it in the left pocket and you're not really going to be worried about that blade popping open, not against the seam, because that skinnier pocket for this, to keep your main pocket clear, it doesn't matter. You could kind of go either way. So it doesn't really bother me as much even now, less than before. But I'll carry them in my right pocket as well. That's not a huge loss. Kind of similar to my Kansept Tuckamore with that long straight blade. Looks like the cutting surface on these is pretty much identical. Zoom in a little bit more for you there. Blade shape is a little different. This one has a little bit more of a swoop right here, but the top part, like literally this kind of swoops like a natural slow curve, and this one's a little sharper here and then straightens out the rest of the way. But yeah, actually kind of pretty similar as far as the blade goes. This one's a CPM 20 CV, so it's a different steel. Handle's about the same though, really. Kind of in a way similar, yet completely different. Grab another one, my QSP Swordfish. Figured it was almost about the same size. This one's got a button lock on it, so a little bit different. But here we are at that blade surface. Is the cutting surface is almost exactly the same. And similar knife in a way, except for the button, the lock's a little different, but yeah. Cool. I like this. I like Kansept. I think they're cool. I've got several other knives from them that I'm not really showing today. I kind of get into a habit of showing too many and not really focusing on the knife that we are checking out that's new today, and that is this Main Street. Should I look at getting one of the smaller ones? They actually have a lot of offerings on this too. I'm not sure if I think they do have like a crossbar lock version, like the smaller one, and obviously there's probably some premium versions with some really nice handle material / blade material. I'm excited about this one. This is kind of a cool, more of a user knife, I think. Oops, there was a little bit of a fail for you. The detent, it's pretty solid. Pulls it in pretty hard at the end. Kind of tough to get it to pop out, which is nice because sometimes when you have it, it's kind of a weak detent. I'm going to help assist this out. You'll go to do the opening with your thumb, and instead of it, there it went. I did it right there, but I kind of flipped off of it. But if I, there are some where you can get it to kind of just pop out like this, or you're doing the flick out, and because the detent is weak, you can kind of get it here and just sit there and kind of do this with it. But this, when it's in there closed, you kind of have to get some pressure on there, and then it releases, and then pretty much has enough to get it all the way out, which is great. I like that detent on there. It's got a good feel to it. I'm interested. I guess it's the blade shape. That's the way that they did that this little teeny bump is sticking out there. Because depending on, okay, like that's like right where it hits the stop. But you would almost think that they could have made that just a hair bigger or groove this out a little bit more, and that could have been turned into a front flipper. But because that's so small, it is definitely not. Cool. That is going to be close to the end of today, huh? More unboxings coming, more dies, getting some more laser marks happening, a lot of stuff coming up on the channel. Got a giveaway coming soon to be going live on a regular basis too. Maybe do some dies live and just some fun discussions and things like that. But yeah, if you enjoy what you see, please hit that like button and subscribe if you would like to see more. Helps me out, and I really appreciate it. Stay sharp. We'll see you soon.